and welcome back to my channel. Oh my god, what's my voice? Welcome back to my channel, welcome back to a brand new video. And let's just start with welcome to Bookmas. It is officially the start of Bookmas, with this video is the first one. And it feels like this has been going on forever for me because I have been filming since the end of September for Bookmas. And we are now finally filming the first video, because the first video is actually a wrap up of November. We obviously couldn't film that until now, when it is the 26th of November. Still time to finish another book before the end of the month, but not enough time to film before the 2nd of December when this video is going up. Which surprisingly that falls on the day I usually upload anyway, so that's great. But before we get into this video, if you do enjoy my content and want to keep up with Bookmas, there is going to be a little playlist, so if you do end up watching this in January, you can watch all my Bookmas videos at once. But if you want to join in with Bookmas and see what I upload and see what I get up to, then please give this video, please subscribe to my channel. Is where you'll see all my Bookmas content coming up every other day. So you're going to get a video every other day of the month for December, up until the 24th of December. How crazy is that? And if you do this video, please give it a thumbs up, please comment down below, please subscribe, and follow my social medias that I linked down below. And without further ado, let's just get on with it, because I'm excited. It's a monthly wrap up. I get to talk about all the books that I've read this month, and I've had a good reading month, I think. So let's go. Okay, so for this video is obviously my November wrap up. I'm going to have a. I hope this isn't one up. Interesting. Looks quite nice. Literally like Starbucks. I got the coffee pods for Starbucks white chocolate mocha, which is my favourite coffee drink from Starbucks at the moment. And they released them in Tesco's, and oh my god, I was so happy, because I was like, I didn't have to order my Starbucks this morning, because I was going to order a Starbucks to get a coffee. I still might do it, like, I'm not saying I wouldn't, but I'm hoping not to, because I don't want to spend my money on Starbucks. Anyway, that's a tangent. November, we read, of course I have it on my phone because not all of them are physical books. 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 books in November, and there is nothing below a 4-star rating this month. I had a really good reading month, not just with the amount of books I read, but the quality of the amount of books. The quality of the books I read were very good quality. Like, I can't really fault them. I have my own little nitpicks, and we'll get to them when we talk about them. So. And actually I think all of them have been in a vlog in some way or form, so yes. We're going to start with the ones, I'm going to try and do it in as much order as I possibly can, because I'm trying to remember when I read them, because I did them for other reading vlogs as well, and I think all of them, all the reading vlogs are coming up in this month, as far as I'm aware. So first of all, we read Love and Other Words by Christina Lauren. This was a reread for me. I read it last year, like around September time last year, and I loved it. And at that point I gave it a 4 point, I think I gave it a 3.75 star. I can't remember what I gave it when I first read it. Then I upped it to 5 stars during this year, because all I could think about was that book. Like, even I hadn't read it in months, hadn't spoken about it in months, but all I could think about was it. So I was like, you know what, if I'm still thinking about this book months after I've read it, it's just a 5-star read and I just got it wrong. My TV is distracting me. I'm just going to turn it off. So I gave this, I decided to reread it for a video that's coming up, and I won't talk too much about it, but I will give you my thoughts and feelings briefly. I gave this book a 4.25 stars on my reread, and it's not because it was a bad book, because I really enjoyed it. It was a really easy read. I absolutely love it. I still love Macy and Elliot. I love their friends to lovers romance. I just felt like it isn't, I think because I'd already read it and I had it high up in my head, I don't remember. I was like, this isn't as good as I remember it being, and that was just my brain. But I said it in the vlog when I read it, that when I read it last year, I only read like one genre. I didn't venture out. I kind of read similar books. So when I read it last year, I hadn't been reading for so long, and in the space of a year I've read so many different types of books, fantasy, romance, you know, and it's like, I've read so many different authors as well, which is why it's just because I've read so many different and so many good books this year, this was hard to put in a 5-star when I reread it, but I did really enjoy it. It's a cute romance. If you didn't know, this follows Macy and Elliot. They were childhood friends who met at a holiday home, and then they ended up falling in love, so like childhood friends to lovers, and then they ended up breaking up because of an incident that happened. So then they went to kind of, I wouldn't say enemies, but kind of enemies. And then they reunite when they're older, and it's kind of like second chance romance, falling back. That's what I say. I wouldn't say enemies. They just weren't talking. And they grew apart, and they grew apart, and like reunited, and it was like second chance romance, and it was really cute. So yeah. Next we read Throttled by Lauren Asher, one of my favourite authors. I was tabbing it, and then what I ended up doing was reading it on my Kindle, and then because I got a Kindle at the end of October, so I was reading this on my Kindle, and I think so I stopped tabbing it. I feel like my Kindle has taken over my life recently, because I haven't really enjoyed holding a reading physical book since, and that's what scares me, because reality is I do love holding and reading physical books, and I don't want to have to like read them on my Kindle. So, but it was the first book I read on my Kindle because I was like, I want to be reading it. I started this a while ago, and then I stopped because I can't remember why I stopped. I think I was doing another video, and I just didn't pick it up. But I finally read it, and I really enjoyed it. This follows Maya and Noah. Noah is an F1 race driver, and Maya is sisters to Santi, who is on Noah's team, and they are kind of like enemies at first, and it's also like kind of forbidden love, because it's kind of like Santi doesn't say it, but it's kind of like there that you can't go dating his teammate, and they have they've got good chemistry. I love the banter with them too, and I love it. I feel like you had, I don't know what it was. I loved the chemistry, like when they chatted, it was always like back and forth banter, and I loved it. And as soon as they started actually hooking up, or dating, I should say, all you got is sex scenes, and that's what really. I don't say all it was. I know it's called the Dirty Air series. I know there's gonna be a lot of smut in it, but I wasn't to see the romance and be more romantic, and it was romantic in times, but like, you got more sex and you got that romance, and I was like, So that's why I gave it a 4.25 stars, which is still a good rating. It's just not as high as it could have been, but I did really enjoy it for the first book of the series. So yeah, and it also sets you up ready for the second book, which I cannot remember the characters' names, but it's two people who are in this book. So I think I got a cold, so I'm very sorry for stuffy nose. It's freezing. It got to like -1 last night, so yeah. My mum is about to shut by. 100% guarantee she's going to shut by in a minute. See you later! I know, thanks! Told you. Anyway, moving on from that, we're going to, if I remember in order, because I actually read these two as part of my 24 hours of reading, which you would have seen by now, so that's good. That's good, you don't have to wait for that video. But go back and check it out, because I'm really proud of it, because I finally completed 24 hours of reading after like, it was my 5th attempt in the space of like since last year, and I finally actually succeeded, and you have no idea how happy that makes me. Like, I've never been more proud of myself than that, and that sounds really sad, because I got on stage and I performed, and I'm joking. Anyway, I then picked up my Kindle to read, so I was like, picked up the first book in the Mindfuck series, which is The Risk. Was the first one of the Mindfuck series. I picked that one up, was like, okay, cool, I'll read one, maybe two today, because they're very short. Like, they are like 100 to 200, just about 100 pages each, like 170 pages each. They're nearly 200 pages each, not that long at all. And like, it was like a 2-hour book, and I was like, this will take the time up, and it'll be fine. I read one, was like, okay, now I need to read the next one. I got hooked on this book. Like, I absolutely loved that book. Like, I was meant to be doing a Film a Dark Romance video with me at some point in the near future, and that was meant to be in it. That was what I was going to read, or some of that was what I was going to read in that video. Did I give myself enough time to know? I just couldn't stop. Like, I was reading another book that is coming up, and I was reading it for a different video, but I had to put that on hold just to finish the Mindfuck series. I needed to know what was going to happen. So I read all 5 of the books, so I completed the Mindfuck series, and I loved that series so much. The Mindfuck series follows a girl called Lana, who is a bit of a serial killer. Not really a serial killer, she just kill people for the sake of killing them. There's a big reason as to why she does it. So she's still a serial killer, but she has good methods. And she kills people for something that happened in the past, and you need to read the book to understand. And she meets a guy called Logan who works for the FBI, who is actually on the case to find the person who is doing the serial killings. So he's on the hunt technically to find Lana, but he meets Lana, doesn't believe it's her for a long time, doesn't think it's her. There's someone else who's also on there, and yeah, Lana and Logan kind of have a relationship, like kind of form a relationship as time goes by, and you see it all unfold. It's great. I absolutely love the book. I honestly need to buy the physical copy and reread it and annotate it like so bad, because it was just so good. I honestly cannot tell you how much I loved that book with my whole heart. And if you can't tell, I gave it a 5-star. It's the only book I gave 5 stars to this month, but I honestly cannot stop thinking about it. I honestly thought about it so long. Like, I tried to envision my life in it, and I don't know why. Also, I hope my hair looks okay, because I actually was meant to tie it up before I filmed the video, and I just didn't. Then what did I read next? Oh, it's under here. Then we read Things We Hide from the Light by Lucy Score. This book is in my Tackle My TBR video. It's coming up some point soon. This one follows Nash and Lena, and at the end of Things We Never Got Over, something big happens to Nash that affects his whole life. And you're kind of following on with how he's dealing and coping with that in this book. And Lena is she's got a kind of, what's the job? I don't know how to explain her job, but she's on a mission basically. She gets to knock him out, and there's a lot of like tension between her and Nash. There's banter. So Lena is no, I'm getting different books confused. Lena is the guy from the first book, because I can't think of his name. The guy who got married to Naomi. Knox, that's the word, Knox. Lena is Knox's ex-girlfriend, but like there's nothing wrong with it, they're fine. And Nash is obviously Knox's brother, so but Nash and Lena have like a little banter going on, like, but then he cares so much about her, and it's just such a cute little romance in this book, and I absolutely loved it. Like, I was so hooked on their relationship, and I was like, oh my god, please, I can just see it was perfect. And I absolutely loved the way this book was. I have my notes page up with all that I rated it, so I wouldn't forget. And I rated this book a 4.75 stars. Like, it was so close to 5 stars. I don't even know what let it down. Then I read this book called Blazing Stars. It's actually now on Kindle Unlimited, but at the time I got it, I'll try to show you the cover. I actually got gifted as an ARC by Grace Promotions and Jess Taylor, and who's the author. So this is the cover. Obviously it wouldn't have the word ARC there, but this is the cover, and it's purple. Just imagine it was purple. And it's part of the Blossoming Beginnings or Blossom's Beginnings series, and it's the 3rd one, so I need to read the first 2. But they're not like, they're standalones in a series, which is good because I can read it anyway. Like, say with Twisted series, you can read it any time. I usually just like to go from the start, but with this I didn't do that. But I read it within the time period I had to read it for, and I absolutely fell in love with that story. I fell in love with Kyson and, oh my god, Gabriella. Like, Kyson and Gabriella were like childhood friends to lovers, and then to enemies to lovers. Like a second chance romance, friends to lovers, enemies to lovers. It was great. It follows Kyson and Gabriella. They met at school. Gabriella was Kyson's tutor, and then they fell in love. The one night she gives him in like a little Blazing Stars like meadow near where they lived, was her last night in town, and she just went poof, goodbye. I didn't even say goodbye to him. And then years later, she's doing her doctor, or not doctor, she's training to be a doctor, nurse or doctor, and her housemate and her are looking for a new housemate, and who comes as third housemate? Kyson. And it brings tension and so much drama, and it's like you spend a lot of time like hoping that they're gonna stop being angry at each other. It's so beautiful, and I loved it. Like, my heart broke. I wanted to cry several times. Didn't cry like I did with Thousand Boy Kisses, so it didn't make me cry yet as much, but I did really enjoy it. I loved it. Felt so connected to the characters, and yeah, I actually gave that a 4.75 stars, so I'm really happy with that book. I love it. I don't want to read it again. Moving on to the next book I read Kiss the Sky by Krista and Becca Ritchie. This is the fourth book in the Addicted / Calloway Sisters series, but it's the first book in the Calloway Sisters series, but it's the fourth one if you're reading it in order from Addicted to You onwards. Because I've read 4 in 1 year already, and I can tell you this, I absolutely am so invested in this series. Like, I understand why Bestie Des loves the series, because I'm like invested. Like, I honestly just love it. This follows Connor and Rose's story, and I love Connor and Rose, and I love the way Connor is with Rose, the way Rose is with Connor. Like, if you've read the other books, you would know that they have a little bit on-off kind of thing going on, especially in Addicted for now. In this one, it feels like it's a lot more them-centric, and I love it. I can't tell you too much, because I don't want to spoil the other 3 books. But Rose and Connor, so Rose is Lily's sister, and Connor tutored Lily in the first book, and Rose and him had met before. Like, yeah, and then in this book there's a TV show that they're filming, a TV show to kind of try and ease what happened in the last book, and it's a very interesting story, and I absolutely loved this book. I gave it a 4.5 star rating, and I'll tell you, it was a really good book. Really enjoyed it. I didn't really talk about it just right now, but you'll see my thoughts in the Talk About TBR video when I read it. So I read it for that, which is coming up, and I absolutely love this book. And we read one of my most anticipated reads of the year after reading Fourth Ring, and it was Iron Flame by Rebecca Yarros. This book came out November the 7th. I read it that week and finished it like last week. This book, I can't talk too much about it because it will spoil a lot of the Fourth Wing, but this follows on from where Fourth Wing left off. This follows, obviously it's Violet, girl who is like the protagonist of the book. She is a rider. She has 2 dragons. I think everyone's heard about that, so I can't spoil this. Might spoil, but basically it follows people at school who have to like, describe. If you don't know what Fourth Wing is, research that and you might understand. But this follows where it left off in Fourth Wing, and I absolutely loved it. I think it was a little bit slow at times. There was times where there was a little bit too much information given that was not necessary, and I got slightly bored. Which is it really it's not like it really ruined the book for me. Like, it still got a high rating. It just didn't get 5 stars like Fourth Wing did. I feel like if this was the same length as Fourth Wing, it might have been okay. But this is a little bit longer than Fourth Wing, and it's just a little bit long at moments and slow, but it's still good. I really enjoyed it, and the ending left on another cliffhanger as always, and I don't even know when the next book comes out, and it's killing me to find out. But I gave this book a 4.75 stars, so literally 2.5 stars off, 0.25 off that. And I absolutely loved it. I honestly cannot tell you how much I loved this book. And I love Violet, and I love Zayden, and I just I just need the next book now. So yeah. Also, I need a sticker off, but if I put this with my other one, it looks so pretty together. I love it. And then finally we read the 3rd book in the Chestnut Spring series, Powerless by Elsie Silver. I didn't actually annotate this because I just read it, and my to-do list is still in here. I really enjoyed this book. I thought it was really cute. Sloane and Jasper were adorable. Like, Sloane and Jasper were childhood friends. Sloane has always had a crush on Jasper, and Jasper at first just didn't notice it. And you can see what happens over time. At the beginning of the book, and it's not going to spoil much, but at the beginning of the book, there is a wedding that doesn't happen, but a wedding. And honestly, this book was so good. My heart melted. I was on the edge of my seat, and I'm so happy I've read it. I love the Chestnut Spring series, and I can understand why everyone else does too. There's such a good series, and it's so easy to get lost in. I actually only gave this a 4-star, and I think it's the lowest I've rated one of the Chestnut Spring series, but it's still a good rating, and I loved it. So yes. But that is all the books I've read in November so far. Currently reading Love Like Farms, which is a video that's coming out on the 24th of December. So I'm not going to talk about it here because I'm not even that far into it to really give you what I think my rating will be. And I feel like you need to be surprised for that because it's Christmas books. So anyway, this was really weird to end my wrap up there because usually I'd put my hopefuls in these videos. But spoiler, but in 2 days time you're getting my hopefuls. So keep an eye out for that. Anyway, I am going to end this video here. If you did enjoy my November wrap up, then please give it a thumbs up, please comment down below, please subscribe so you're ready for more bookmas content, and let's just enjoy December. And if this is the only video you tune into in December, then happy Christmas and happy New Year, and I hope the holiday season, it brings you joy. I know it's not an easy time for everyone, so I hope however you spend it, it's okay, you get through it, or you enjoy it, and yeah. Anyway, bye, I love you loads. I feel like I just spoke to my best friend on FaceTime saying that.